Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin and today we're going to do a little book haul, and by little I mean not so little, unfortunately. To be fair, I haven't done a book haul in like a month or a month and a half, so I feel like we are due for one here on the channel. I went a little crazy. It's, you know, there are worse things to be addicted to besides shopping, and I pride myself on thinking that, you know, shopping isn't the worst thing I could be addicted to, and especially buying books. I'm just saying, books are good for the mind, so I rest my case. I think that I am actually helping myself more than I am hindering myself, you know? I mean, I'm just saying, I think it could be worse. I also have some manga that I recently bought. I told you guys I was gonna read more manga. I don't know if it's gonna make it into this video. It's gonna depend on how long this video is, just because of the books. But if the manga is included, it'll be at the end of the video. So yeah, let's just jump right in, shall we? A lot of these books are from my June TBR, so you might see some repeat titles. We got some new stuff in here as well, but you might see some repeat things, so I apologize, but this is a haul of all the books that I've recently bought, and a lot of my June TBR is brand new books that I had just bought. So I hope you guys don't mind the little bit of repetitiveness, but yeah, so let's begin. The first book we'll talk about is Confessions by Kane Minato. I just did a book review Friday on this book, so I will not go too much in depth. It is a revenge story. It is about a teacher who seeks revenge on two of her students who were involved in the death of her 4-year-old daughter. And it is just, it's a wild ride, okay? It is a wild ride. This is an intense book. It's crazy. I love it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I loved it. The next book I got was in my April, wait, what month is it? What month are we in? May. No, we're in June. We're in June. This was one of my May books, I think, from Book of the Month. I picked this one. This is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. It is a romance novel. It is about two best friends, Poppy and Alex, who are the complete opposite of each other, and every year they go on vacation, and they are just really, really close. However, they haven't gone on vacation in 2 years because they had a falling out. So they decided to take one last vacation together to see if they can rekindle that friendship. But, you know how romance books go. There's not just friendship there, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's not just a friendship. There's feelings. There are feelings there. This was super, super, super cute. I really, really liked it. It's awesome. I'm not gonna talk too much about it because it'll be in my wrap-up, but yeah, really, really cute. The next book that I bought is actually the one that I am currently reading right now. It is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This is a book that I didn't think I was going to technically like. It is about an all-girls school who is currently under quarantine because this thing called The Talks has basically made them all sick. It kind of made me nervous because I didn't think I was going to like it, but so far so good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, but it is a cover buy for me. This is so beautiful. I love it. Next up is Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. This is a tiny, 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 tiny little novella. I love this cover. Look at how beautiful this is. Hello, focus camera. I need you to focus on it, okay? Hello. Look at that. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, it's supposed to be a very weird, gross graphic. I mean, I would assume it's a graphic book from what I've heard. But it says, a whirlpool of darkness churns at the heart of a macabre ballet between two lonely young women in an internet chat room in the early 2000s. A darkness that threatens to forever transform them once they finally succumb to their most horrific desires. What have you done today to deserve your eyes? I've heard very, very good things about this book, and I've heard very interesting things about this book. I want to know how I feel about it. I want to know where my opinion lies, but I think I'll probably end up liking it. I think it'll be something that I enjoy. It looks like it's going to be super easy to just read through, and I really like that it takes place during the 2000s in an internet chat room. I just think that's really cool, and I think that'll be a cool feeling, and I think I'll like it a lot. Next up, we have Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. This is another romance book, I believe, but look at this cover. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? It's so cute. Let me read you the back. With her newly completed PhD in astronomy in hand, Grace Porter goes on a girls' trip to Vegas to celebrate. She's a straight-A, hardworking high achiever. She is not the kind of person who goes to Vegas and gets drunkenly married to a woman whose name she doesn't know, until she does exactly that. This one beautiful, spontaneous moment upends Grace's carefully laid life plans, staggering under the weight of her parents' expectations, a struggling job market, and feelings of burnout. Grace flees her home in Portland for a summer in New York with the wife she barely knows. In New York, she's able to ignore all the constant questions about her future and falls hard for her creative and gorgeous wife, Yuki Yamamoto. But when reality comes crashing in, Grace must face what she's been running from all along, the fears that make us human and the need for connection, especially when navigating the messiness of adulthood. This sounds so cute. This sounds like it's gonna make me cry. Like, honestly, reading it chokes me up, and I feel like I'm gonna actually be able to connect to the main character really well. I feel like I have some similarities with her already, so yeah, that'll be really interesting. I'm excited to read it. I think it's so cute. And I don't know, I think it's gonna be cute. I forgot to mention earlier in the video, but a lot of these books I did buy and pick up based off the LGBTQ plus representation in them, whether that be because of the author themselves or the characters in the story. But since June is Pride Month, I figured that would be a good way to, you know, include them in my reading. And I bought quite a bit because I'm hoping that'll mean that even if I don't get to them this month, that means I can obviously read any LGBTQ plus representation at any time of the year. So yes, but this is one of the books I bought because of that, and it sounds so good. Next up, we have Never Have I Ever by Jocelyn Jackson, and this was actually gifted to me by one of my lovely subscribers here on YouTube, Lincoln. Thank you so much. You did not have to do that. That is so incredibly kind. I appreciate it. Your support means everything to me. Every comment, every like, every watch is just so meaningful to me, and that's all I can ever ask for. And so this is just like, this is just too much to me. This is too much. I'm so incredibly thankful. Yeah, I appreciate it so much, Lincoln. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yes, this book sounds so good. Also, I think the cover is beautiful. I really like the purples. I don't know, it speaks to me, but I will read you the back. It says, Amy Way is proud of her ordinary life and the simple pleasures that come with it. Her greatest joy is her family, her devoted professor husband, her spirited 15-year-old stepdaughter, her adorable infant son. But Amy's sweet, uncomplicated life begins to unravel when the mysterious Angelica Rue arrives on her doorstep one book club night. Sultry and magnetic, Rue keeps the wine flowing and lures the group into a game of spilling secrets. Everyone thinks it's naughty, harmless fun. Only Amy knows better. Something wicked has come her way. A she-devil in a pricey red sports car who seems to know the terrible truth about who she is and what she once did. When they're alone, Rue tells her that if she doesn't give her what she wants, what she deserves, she will make Amy pay for her sins, one way or another. To protect her family and the life she's built, Amy must beat the devil at her own clever game, matching wits with Rue in an escalating war of hidden pasts and unearthed secrets. Amy knows the consequences if she can't beat Rue. What terrifies her is everything she could lose if she wins. Ooh! This sounds so good. Oh my god, I love stuff like this. I love secrets and people trying to reveal other people's secrets. This just sounds spicy, you know? It sounds like it's gonna be intense, and I like that. But yeah, it sounds good. I'm very excited. Thank you again, Lincoln. I appreciate you so much. Next up, we have Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, or McQuiston. I don't know how to say that. I felt super left out, so I just had to grab it when my book of the month came up in May. I was like, you know what? I've seen it on here. I'm gonna add it to my box, and that's what's gonna happen because I want to read it so bad. So this book is about the president's son who has beef with the British prince, and a photo gets out of them having this altercation. I guess they like are having a fight, and you know, people run wild with it. There's drama. US-British relations are not good, and to smooth things over, get everything to settle down, they decide to have them fake a truce and just kind of like pretend to be friends, have them photographed together, blah 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 blah, you know, for publicity. And instead they actually end up falling in love, and I love a good enemies to lovers. I love enemies to lovers so much. I love friends to lovers as well, but I think this one's just gonna be so much flippin' fun. I cannot wait. I need to read this ASAP. Next up, we have Fall of the House of Crane by Cindy Wingett, I think is how you pronounce that, but I could be wrong. This was actually sent to me by the author in exchange for an honest review, so I will be getting to this fairly soon. Let me read you the back of this book. Dr. John Montague is on a mission to uncover the truth behind the afterlife, and Hill House is where he'll find it. The 80-year-old mansion's warped exterior hides a soul just as gnarled and twisted. With his 3 assistants to help him discover the source of the house's supernatural forces, Dr. Montague intends to live inside the crumbling building until he has the proof he needs. But when they hear incessant knocking on the walls at all hours of the night, a bloody message is found sprawled across a wall, and a friend begins to go mad. Dr. Montague fears he's in over his head. He calls his ex-wife for help, who is an accomplished medium, but that only seems to awaken the house further. Can he unmask Hill House's secrets before it drives him insane, or will he become one more casualty to its horrors? Now, when I talked to Cindy, we discussed The Haunting of Hill House because I am not the biggest fan of that story. I don't hate it. I just don't think it's my cup of tea. And she also felt the same way, so she said that she wanted to rewrite it and kind of give it its own spin and make it something that she would enjoy. So I am very intrigued. So yes, I can't wait to read this one. Next up is Let the Right One In by... I'm not gonna even try, guys. I'm really not gonna try because I know I'm gonna butcher the ever-loving crap out of his name, and I will feel so bad. I will feel so bad. I really need to look up pronunciations of his name because I don't think I'm gonna be able to say this unless I hear it spoken out loud before. So yes, if you guys don't know, I just watched the Swedish film Let the Right One In, and it is so immaculate. Oh my god, one of my favorite movies now. It is definitely in the top 10 for sure. It was so good. I have seen the American version, Let Me In, and I like this one way better. So I decided that I would have to read it for myself because I just have to know if it's as good as the movie or if it's better, or you know what. I just have to know what it's like, okay? But this is a vampire book, which vampires are not always my thing, okay? I'm very particular about vampire books. So if I like the movie, I have a feeling I'm gonna like this book. I didn't know it was this chunky though. I did not know it was this chunky, and I honestly hate the cover. I is this mean? But it's so boring. It's the movie. It's the movie version, but it's all I could find, and I don't really like it. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, so I got stuck with it. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to read this one. I can't wait. And then my May Book of the Month pick is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I picked this one because I didn't like the Book of the Month picks that were given to me as choices, so I decided to go with a book that I had been wanting to read for a while. I've only read one Riley Sager book. It was Final Girls, I believe. Is that what it's called? The Final Girls or just Final Girls? I think it's just Final Girls. I really, really liked that one. So I wanted to check out this one. I believe this one is supposed to be more on the horror side of his books rather than the thriller side of his books, because I know he does kind of flit in the middle between thriller and horror. So I think this one's supposed to be like the most horror of his books, I believe, if that's what I've heard. I can't really remember what I heard people talking about, but that's what this is supposed to be, I think. So basically this is a haunted house story. I believe the main character Maggie, her dad, wrote a book, I believe, about their haunted house, and it's supposed to be kind of like the Amityville Horror. He wrote all this stuff down that happened to them in the house, and Maggie has never really like believed in what he said. After his passing, she moves into the house, and I guess she's going to start experiencing the stuff that her father wrote about, and it's gonna, like, you know, make her realize that her dad was telling the truth or something like that. It sounds very good. I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's talk about my June Book of the Month pick, and that is The Maidens by Alex. I don't know how to say his last name. Michaelides? I don't know how to say his last name. I probably sound stupid. Is it that easy? Am I just like reading it? Michaelides? Alex Michaelides? Alex Michaelides? I don't know. I sound dumb. I know. I'm sorry. But I know everyone was talking about his book, The Silent Patient. I have not read it, but this one sounded more up my alley, so that's why I picked this one. I will read you the plot. It says, Edward Fosca is a murderer. Of this, Mariana is certain, but Fosca is untouchable, a handsome and charismatic Greek tragedy professor at Cambridge University. Fosca is adored by staff and students alike, particularly by the members of a secret society of female students known as the Maidens. Mariana Andros is a brilliant but troubled group therapist who becomes fixated on the Maidens when one member, a friend of Mariana's niece Zoe, is found murdered in Cambridge. Mariana, who was once herself a student at the university, quickly suspects that behind the idyllic beauty of the spires and turrets and beneath the ancient traditions lies something sinister, and she becomes convinced that despite his alibi, Edward Fosca is guilty of the murder. But why would the professor target one of his students, and why does he keep returning to the rites of Persephone, the maiden, and her journey to the underworld? When another body is found, Mariana's obsession with proving Fosca's guilt spirals out of control, threatening to destroy her credibility as well as her closest relationships. But Mariana is determined to stop this killer, even if it costs her everything, including her own life. I think this sounds really, really good. I love Greek mythology. I like thrillers. Mix them together. Sounds like we got a good story on our hands, and I'm very excited for this. So I can't wait to get into it. So my first add-on for my June Book of the Month box was The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dalila Harris. Oh my god, this sounds freaking incredible. Oh my god, it sounds so frickin' good. Also, this cover is absolutely beautiful. The blue is so stunning and eye-catching and like vibrant that I'm like drawn to it every time I freaking see the cover. It's literally the prettiest freaking thing, and it's so pretty, okay? It's just beautiful, okay? Let me read you the plot. 26-year-old editorial assistant Nella Rogers is pretty tired of being the only black girl at Wagner Books. So of course she's excited when Hazel May McCall starts working in the cubicle besides hers. Born and raised in Harlem, Hazel exudes the confidence and charm that Nella has never quite possessed. But they've only just started swapping emails and natural hair care regimens when a string of unsettling events causes Nella to become public enemy number 1 and Hazel the office darling. And then the notes start to appear on Nella's desk. Leave Wagner now. Nella can't believe that Hazel's been leaving the notes. Despite her crude code switching and competitive vibes, the new black girl doesn't seem that hostile. But as Nella begins to spiral, obsess, and ultimately uncover the sinister forces at play, she risks losing much more than her career. Stakes are higher than she could have imagined, far beyond P&Ls and promotions. Oh my god, it just sounds so freaking good. Oh my god. I can't wait to read this. I think I'm gonna move it up farther onto my TBR because I just need to read it. It sounds so good. I love the cover. I love the premise. I love everything about it. And I'm dying. I'm dying to read it. So yes, I'm so excited. Next up, my last book of the month add-on for June, which is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston or McQuiston, I don't know. This is the same author as Red, White, and Royal Blue, I believe. Is this the same? Yes, okay, she is the same author. Oh my god, that's so cute. This is another romance. I'm sorry, I know you probably hate it, but this looks so good. Also, these books are so chunky from Book of the Month. They're so much bigger than I anticipate. I don't know why, they just feel so large, but I love the cover. It's absolutely beautiful, but let me read you what it's about. For cynical 23-year-old August, moving to New York City is supposed to prove her right, that things like magic and cinematic love stories don't exist, and the only smart way to go through life is alone. She can't imagine how waiting tables at a 24-hour pancake diner and moving in with too many weird roommates could possibly change that. And there's certainly no chance of her subway commute being anything more than a daily trudge through boredom and electrical failures. But then there's this gorgeous girl on the train, Jane, dazzling, charming, mysterious, impossible Jane. Jane with her rough edges and swoopy hair and soft smile, showing up in a leather jacket to save August's morning when she needs it the most. August's subway crush becomes the best part of her day, but pretty soon she discovers there's one big problem. Jane doesn't just look like an old school punk rocker, she's literally displaced in time from the 1970s, and August is going to have to use everything she tried to leave in her own past to help Jane. Maybe it's time to start believing in some things after all. Oh my god, it just sounds so freaking cute. Oh my god, it sounds so cute. It sounds like it's gonna make me cry. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need a good cry because it sounds like it's gonna make me sob uncontrollably, and yeah, I kind of want to, so I'm excited. Next up, we have The Amulet by Michael McDowell, which I actually bought because Jordaline from Jordaline Reads raves so much about this book, and I have never read anything from Michael McDowell, and I know he did the screenplay for Beetlejuice, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Beetlejuice, so I have to read something by him. I just have to. This one sounded the most like I would enjoy it. I mean, not that his other books didn't sound like I would enjoy it, but this one like stood out the most, and Jordaline had such positive reviews of it that I was like, you know what? Here we go. Let me read you the back. When a rifle range accident leaves Dean Howell disfigured and in a vegetative state, his wife Sarah finds her dreary life in Pinecone, Alabama made even worse. After long and tedious days on the assembly line, she returns home to care for her corpse-like husband while enduring her loathsome and hateful mother-in-law, Jo. Jo blames the entire town for her son's mishap, and when she gives a strange piece of jewelry to the man she believes most responsible, a series of gruesome deaths is set in motion. Sarah thinks the amulet has something to do with the rising body count, but no one will listen to her. As the inexplicable murders continue, Sarah and her friend Becca Blair have no choice but to track down the amulet themselves before it's too late. This sounds like Needful Things a little bit, which, if you didn't know, Needful Things is my favorite Stephen King novel of all time. So if anything sounds even a little bit like Needful Things, I'm very excited. I cannot wait to get into this. I don't know when I'm gonna get to this, but hopefully soon. Next up is House of Holo by Crystal Sutherland. I told you guys this is in my June TBR. I might be reading this with Jordaline as a buddy read actually, so I don't know when we will get to that, but I'm very excited. It's about the Holo sisters who disappeared as children only to magically reappear a month later with no memory of what happened to them. And then the eldest sister goes missing again and the other two sisters have to go looking for her. I just kind of read that and then gave a quick synopsis. As I'm looking at it, I'm like talking to you guys. I'm trying not to read too much and go into too much detail because I did talk about each of these, a lot of these actually, in my June TBR. So if you want more info, please go check that video out. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. I've heard so many good things about it. Everyone seems to love it. I bought it mostly because the cover is absolutely stunning. I kind of wish I had gotten the hardcover because I think the hardcover is slightly prettier. So if I enjoy this book, I might get a hardcover as well. Is that crazy? I don't know. Maybe. Next up, we have Mina and the Undead, which is by Amy McCaw. This was sent to me as well by the author in exchange for an honest review. I'm hoping to get to this one this month. It sounds so much fun. It is a YA novel and it is a vampire novel, which, like I said previously, vampires are not usually my thing. However, I really like fun vampire stories. Grady Hendrix, the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, that title always messes me up. I can never say it correctly. That is the best vampire book I have ever read. It's probably my favorite by him of all time. I would say that My Best Friend's Exorcism comes very close though, and that made me rethink vampire books completely, so I'm very excited to get to this one. It takes place in New Orleans and I just think it's going to be so fun. The main character lands a part-time job at a horror movie mansion and I just think this is gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be just a ton of fun. I cannot wait to read it. We are almost done, I promise. I'm sorry this is so long. I'm sorry. Next up, we have The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starling. This is also on my June TBR. I told you guys it doesn't sound like something I would typically go for because it's about being in like a cave. It's a cave expedition kind of thing. Our main character in this one lies her way to get this job where she's going on an expedition inside a cave. And I'm assuming she lies about like her credentials and if she knows what she's doing, which is like super dangerous because when you're doing something this like risky, I wouldn't lie about my qualifications, but whatever, she lies, I guess, and she ends up being all alone on this expedition and she only has M in her like, I guess, earpiece or like her, yeah, like her suit, I guess. She has M in her suit to like help guide her and keep her sane, but M knows her secrets and I guess their relationship is gonna be a little back and forth, kind of tug of war kind of thing. M sounds like they're really manipulative and yeah, I don't know. It sounds interesting. It doesn't sound like something I would typically go for, but I'm intrigued by it and I've seen some really good reviews and some really not good reviews. So next up we have Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This one was also in my June TBR. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's a romance horror. There's going to be witchcraft. There's going to be ghosts, a romance with a ghost. There's going to be some LGBTQ plus representation in here. I am very excited. I cannot wait. It sounds amazing. And last but not least is Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Imede, I think is how you pronounce her name. But oh my god, this is going to be a Gossip Girl-esque kind of YA book and I am so excited. I love Gossip Girl. I love anything with secrets and people trying to reveal secrets, which is exactly what this is about. Someone holding secrets over the main character's head, and I just think it sounds so good, and I love it. It sounds awesome. It sounds so good. It just came out this month, I believe, so it's very, very new. I cannot wait to get to it. It's on my June TBR like most of these books are, which is setting myself up for failure, but what else is new? Okay guys, those are all the books that I have bought recently. I would say in the last month and a half. No, not even. This is the last few weeks. I can't even lie to you guys. This has all been done this month, which is really sad, but I have an issue. It's fine. I obviously am not going to include the manga in this video because this video is super long. I need to shut up. I need to stop talking. So I'll make a separate video for all the manga that I've recently bought later on and show you guys then. But yeah, I'm going to stop here. One other thing real quick before I sign off and let you guys go is I am thinking about doing some reading vlogs here on my channel. I would love to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on that. I put a post on my community tab here, so if you want to go check out that post on the community tab, or you can comment down here and let me know your thoughts. If you do want to see reading vlogs, what books do you want to see me do them on? If they're in here, any of these, feel free. Manga, literally, it doesn't matter. Just leave your suggestions down below so I can prepare and, get ready. Maybe I can do one this week. We'll see. Just let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry this was kind of long and rambling, and there was a lot of repetitive books from my June TBR. I hope you guys don't mind. If you did enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content you enjoy from me. That way I can keep providing you with that kind of content. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about books, movies, makeup, horror, all kinds of things. I do a lot on this channel, so hopefully there's something for everyone. And with that being said, I'm gonna go. I am tired. My voice is feeling strained from talking so much. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!